Do you wanna blow someone up? And do you wanna ejaculate in someone's ass? Then you need to listen up, boy. And if you wanna listen up, boy, then you need to listen up, boy. Alrighty, let's get the important stuff out of the way first. High explosives, heat and HESH use explosive power to penetrate. That's what the E stands for, explosives, which means that the shell use explosion to penetrate the enemy, and as well, which sadly means if the shell touches literally any object, it will just blow up. The shell will be gone, because it's not like AP or APCR, which stands for penetration. The shell does not blow up. It uses the momentum and the power of the penetration to go through objects. Let me give you a little example. Let's say that you are a fast, beautiful tank destroyer, the Waffenträger, and ooh, it's a beautiful target. Look at that beautiful conqueror. Now that's an ass that you want to for sure penetrate with the high explosives. But sadly, so what happens, there is a wall between you and that target, and as you can see, the shell did literally nothing to the conqueror because high explosives can't go through object. And now, since we got the basics of high explosives, let's get to the bottom of this. This is when you're allowed to use high explosives. It's when you see an ass that looks like this. Look at that back of that super conqueror. Damn, delicious. So technically, if the back of the tanks looks as flat as this, or this, or this, or as well this, that means that you should use high explosives. Technically, if you see the back of a tank as flat as this, that means it's a green light to shoot high explosives. And now, since you know when to use high explosives, let us talk about the penetration and as well splashing damage. And now, welcome our test for the today AIM-50B. If you see the armor as red as this, it technically means that the high explosives will do literally 0 damage or maximum 10. But if the armor says yellow, you will do a minimum to low damage, and maybe if you're lucky you will damage a module or 2 of the tank. But if you don't see any color as this, it means that the shell can penetrate and you can do some serious damage to the enemy tank. As you can see, again, another one, it will penetrate and it will do over the average of a regular shell. But if you are in a situation like this when the enemy is on a very low HP, switch to the high explosives. It doesn't mean that you have to penetrate, all you have to do is splash, but you have to hit an exact spot if you want to do a high splashing damage to guarantee you kill the enemy that is on low HP. Let me show you how. Alrighty, let's say that you're a VK100 against a Tiger 2, a tank with a decent high explosives, not a TD like, but pretty good enough to do good splashing damage. As you can see, if you shoot the frontal armor of this tank, you do from 21 damage to 150 maximum. This is exactly the right spot we need to shoot between the turret and the hole. That spot does the most splashing damage to any enemy. So if you see someone on like 300 HP or 250, hit there or hit the cupola, like near the top turret, because these two places are very weak and easy to splash. And now last but not least, HESH. But hold up a second, I don't want you to go jump in and get an FV or something, because you literally sacrifice in penetration for damage. So you lose some and you get some. And now we have a very powerful tank, the 60TP, known for its good frontal armor and as well rear armor, against an FV HESH. As you can see, you can penetrate the lower plate with HESH and nearly the entire side of the tank and everything on the back of the tank. High explosives would never be able to do this. And the damage, as you can see, yep, it's literally as dangerous as high explosives, but even better with more penetration. But again, if you're gonna get HESH, you are losing the penetration, you're losing the gold shells that have a lot of penetration just to do extra damage. Well, I think this is all the basics that you need to know about high explosives. The rest you will find it out on your journey while getting better at this game. This is like the best things that you need to know about high explosives, and the rest will come from you. So this was Freak vibing with you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another one. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. This video took me a long time to make, so please consider subscribing. You get it.